Welcome back to the Fox on our podcast. Today's podcast is about patience and how we can implement patience in our life so that we can continue to wait for opportunities, continue to grow in our craft or whatever we are striving to achieve. Um, how to have patience in tough times, what patience can look like in an everyday life. I don't know if I said that, probably. But also what patience can have on you negatively. And I guess I'll start with the positive because the negative is kind of not taking over my life at the moment, but it is having a big impact on my motivation to succeed. It's we'll get into it. Anyway, a good thing about having patience is that it's continuum. Patience is an everyday thing. Either you're waiting for traffic, waiting in line, waiting for a job opportunity, waiting to hear back from a college. So we all go through patience, but what patience also brings into your life is character building. It allows you to uh, I feel like suffer in silence, but not like in pain. Because I noticed with me, waiting for opportunities to emerge or trying to get different people to support the podcast and certain things like that. Uh, it's it's taken a toll on me because it's like, what can I do better? How can I get my content to more people? And I feel like that is building me to be a better person, building me to be a stronger person because perfection is never ideal. Uh, Growing and being better every day is what I try to accomplish. And well, maybe that doesn't look like it's in place today or even tomorrow, knowing that you are building stepping stones to the end goal. I feel like is the ultimate reward of patience. Will Smith had a saying that you don't build a wall in a day. You lay a brick down as perfectly as you can lay a brick until you have a wall. And that's what I'm trying to strive and live my life towards. Dropping different podcasts, uh, so that eventually I can have whatever comes from this. Hopefully, it's my own show. Hopefully, it's more followers. Uh, Hopefully, I'm happy, and I feel like that right there is what people take for granted is being happy. A lot of people want to succeed so bad. A lot of people want to get to that level of being famous that they don't they don't take in consideration the little things that that life will give you so you can build yourself up. If I got famous overnight and I'm not one with myself or I'm not uh a good father to my son or different things, I'm gonna have that success, I'm gonna have that popularity, but I'm not gonna be happy. And I feel like with patience it brings that level of humility. It brings uh more of a humble spirit because when you see other people who are trying to succeed, you you what is the word I'm looking for? You relate to their struggle, you relate to their ambition, to their grind. So if you are someone who is trying to, for instance, have a podcast or trying to be a singer, actor, a doctor, whatever the case may be, try to live your life around patience. Try to put yourself in positions that you have to wait for something or you have to grind a little harder for a longer period of time, so that those little accolades that you can learn start to manifest into something greater and start to become who you are. And I don't know, I guess that's really the positive aspect of patience. It doesn't seem like a lot, but once you master just being one with yourself and understanding that that time will come, I feel like will motivate you even more to continue to being the better individual that you were yesterday. I was watching the movie Malcolm X with Denzel, and when Malcolm went to prison for what was it, 10 years, I believe. The the stuff he did while in prison, he went to school. He learned about the Quran. He learned about who he was and who he wants to be. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't overnight, and I feel like that was a big inspiration to me because, like I said earlier, all these little accolades that he started picking up over the 10-year period of time, he was able to get out of prison and become something greater than himself. He started to become a role model, a leader, an influencer in his community. And people started to hate him for that because they saw this man who was nothing, this man who was a thief, a liar, and they saw him become basically a god in a lot of people's eyes. He probably wouldn't have said he was a god, but people were willing to lay their life down just because of who he was and because of the patience that he had in order to grow, in order to love, in order to uh, see life for what it truly is, and that is hopefully what I can pass on to you guys, or you guys can pass on to me, uh, so we can all have this relationship in patience, or this relationship in being better. But the negative aspect of patience is that it can take forever. It can take 10 years, it can take 20. And with that time, or with that uncertainty, Satan starts to eat at you physically or mentally. There's multiple times that I felt like I wasn't good enough. There were multiple times that I felt like my podcast will never pick up. I see people every day support uh, this family member of mine that is doing exceptionally well in his craft. But when it comes to me, no one responds back to being on the podcast. Nobody really shares my content like that, and it got me to the point to where I started to feel maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I wasn't as good of a person, so they would want to share my stuff. I started to be envious of this family member, and this morning it actually hit me that I was being jealous, or I was being a little more hateful than I needed to be. First of all, it was a family member. I should be the number one fan, or be the love and supporting family member that people need. But also, I had to understand that the time and the craft that this family member put in, it is deserving. The amount of stuff that he went through, um, to overcome different challenges. It's really inspiring, but having just it's having something you want to happen so bad, and having others attain it before you or quicker than you. It hurts. I don't really understand why it hurts so much, because continuing to go forward, continuing to try to be the best you can be, eventually you'll get there. So I wonder why, as humans, we try to rush things. We try to make things happen before God wants them to happen. And I truly believe things happen for a reason. But again, I'm human. I feel doubt. I feel worry. And if you're one of those people, I hope that this message can reach you, and hopefully this can actually help me as well on being a better person, being someone who can take a new challenge head on, knowing that if I continue to put my all into it, continue to be the best that I could be, I can hopefully kill this mindset of not feeling important, not feeling loved, not feeling respected. And when I finally get these people who will love and support me, I can embrace them full heartedly and not feel uh, used or not feel taken advantage of, because I know that I put in the effort. I know the people I have around me can continue to help me grow, continue to help me live out the dream that I have for myself, and also me for my accolades or my um, I can't. Oh my goodness, time out. So having a podcast and you are talking to like a camera is really difficult, because you have to continue thinking about what you're trying to say. This is one thing about podcasting that is really hard. But like I said previously in other videos, on Socks Run Off podcast, just here to have fun, here to chill. I was gonna smoke. I am gonna smoke. I just forgot to light it. But hopefully one day I can be the person that somebody comes to and tell me, because of you I was able to become a doctor, or because of you I was able to um, follow up my dreams, because when you talked about patience, I felt that on a different level. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be the most popular person in the world. I'm not trying to be the most loved person in the world, the richest person in the world. I just want to be that person that people embrace, people want to be around. I want to be that person that sheds light on darkness. I want to be the father that my son can come to with any problem that he's having, either with life, with girls, with finances, with whatever the case may be, and I have an answer for him. Or if not an answer, I would have the experience or the wisdom to help him through it so that we can both grow from it. And that's really the end goal. Like I said this morning, I was going through it, and now I'm feeling a lot better. Uh, Talking to you guys, I start to see things clear, especially when you start to voice what you want from yourself. And I feel like that's what I needed. Did I want to be rich? Did I want to be popular? Did I want to be this, this, and this? Or did I just want to be a humble man? Did I want to be a role model? Did I want to be a great father? And remembering these accolades that I want to implement in my life, then that patience starts to switch into a positive. Because after this podcast, I am now one step closer at being the man who I want to be. One step closer in building knowledge so that others don't have to feel this type of way. So it's a short podcast. I kind of did this out of impulse, but I appreciate you guys being with me and understanding that I may not be perfect. Some of my words may not hit as hard as I want them to, or maybe I just don't have the words to say. But if you're an individual who feels forgotten, feels lonely, feels like they're not important, just remember that you are loved, regardless if it's from external people. Remember that you are loved by yourself first. And once you start to defeat yourself, and once you start to have patience with yourself, you'll grow into a, I'm gonna say it, a beautiful sunflower. But going back to the movie, uh, just when everybody seemed to leave Malcolm, he found peace within himself. He found peace within prison for 10 years. And that's what I want you all to think about once this podcast is over. How can I implement patience in my life? What can I take from waiting for my goal? What can I take from others that may be on the same journey that I am on? And maybe one day we can be as successful and as loved and as helpful as we want to be. But until then, I'm gonna continue making these podcasts, podcasts, continue to talk to you guys, continue to grow, continue to be the best father that I can be, but also continue to be patient. So from me to you guys, may your pain be champagne. I didn't smoke, but I'm about my list. I'm telling you guys, I haven't smoked, but I'm about to.